There are millions of products on Amazon, but maybe only a few thousand of those are actually worth selling as a beginner. The rest won't make you any money, and some could actually get your account suspended on day one. I'm Dave, and I've spent the last 9 years in private label. I built and exited my own brand. I'm in the middle of scaling a new brand with a new business partner, and along the way, I've coached over 600 sellers on how to choose their first products. And in all that time, I boiled product research down to one checklist that I run every single product against before I even consider buying inventory. There are 4 things that a product has to hit, 3 bonus signals that could make a good product a great product, and there are 7 different types of products that I won't even open a research tool for. That's the whole video. Quick context, if you saw my last video on the 3 research principles, this is the layer underneath that. Principles are the mindset, so how you think about research. This video is the lens, so what you're actually looking for when a product crosses your screen. If you haven't seen the principles video, I'll link it down below. You can come back here after, or just keep watching this one. This video stands on its own. All right, here are the 4 must-haves. Criterion number 1, price. The product has to sell for at least $20. And the reason behind that is really just math, because once you drop below the $20 mark, then your margins disappear very, very quickly. On a $10 or $12 product, after your cost of goods, your shipping, your duties, and Amazon's FBA fees, you'd be lucky to be left with $1 or $2 in profit per unit. And that's before you spent a single dollar on ads. That's not a business, that's just a hobby that loses money. Once you're in the $20 and up range, the math really starts working for you, because you can realistically expect $5 to $10 plus of cash profit per unit, and that's after your ad spend. That right there is the threshold where private label is actually a business. Now, can you sell higher than that? Absolutely. Just remember that the higher the price, the higher your inventory cost, and the slower the buyer's decision to pull the trigger. For your first product, the sweet spot is usually about $20 to $70. That right there will give you enough margin to actually get some solid profit, and it's not such a high price point that it's going to tie up most of your capital. Criteria number 2, BSR. This stands for best seller rank, and BSR is really just Amazon's leaderboard. So the lower the number, the more that product actually sells. A BSR of 1 means it's the number 1 bestseller in its category. And if you take a huge product category like patio lawn garden, for example, a number 1 best-selling product would equate to thousands of units a day, which would actually be one of the best-selling products on planet Earth. And on the flip side of that, a BSR of 1 million means it's barely moving any units whatsoever. Now, what I look for in the US marketplace is a BSR under 50,000 in the product's main category. And although that may seem super high, that's actually in a very safe zone. That tells me that there's a healthy amount of sales happening every single day. And if you're looking at a product with a BSR over 100,000 or 150,000, it won't be an exciting investment. So the quick gut check, open the listing, scroll down to the product details, find the BSR, and if it's under 50,000, keep it. And if it's over 50,000 and beyond, probably best to move on. And here's a better signal. When you look at a market, you want to see multiple listings, not just one, sitting under that 50,000 mark. That tells you that the whole market has steady demand, and it's not just one seller doing well while the rest are battling for scraps. Criteria number 3, monthly units and revenue. This is the true demand check, and it's 2 numbers that I really want you to look at. First is monthly units sold. I want you to see top listings in the market that are selling at least 100 units a month. That's roughly 3 sales a day, and that's a realistic scalable minimum for any new seller. Anything less than that, and you're going to struggle to make this product worth the effort it takes to launch it. The second one is monthly revenue. Now, for your first product, I want you to see listings doing somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000 a month in revenue. That range right there is the sweet spot for new sellers, I find, because it's strong, consistent cash flow without forcing you to dump your entire launch budget into one product. Because look, a product doing $100,000 a month in revenue sounds amazing on paper, but your cost of goods is going to be roughly 30% of that revenue, sometimes even higher. Which means you'd need tens of thousands of dollars in inventory at any given moment just to keep that product in stock. That right there is the opposite of what we want on product number 1. Remember, we want to plant seeds, not trees. Start with markets that are steady and manageable, not giants that are going to tie up every single dollar that you have. Criteria number 4, reviews. This is the competition check. You do not want to be competing with too many listings that have thousands of reviews on them. Those sellers are very well established. They've been on the platform for years. They have brand recognition, customer history, and just budgets that you can't match yet. And think about it from the buyer's perspective too, right? If you're shopping on Amazon and you see one listing with 5,000 reviews and the other one has 5 reviews, which one are you trusting? So I look for markets where the top listings have under 1,000 reviews on average, and ideally that should be in the low hundreds. That's a market where you can actually compete, where a new build listing can actually rank, start to build up some social proof, and earn its place at the top of page 1 within a reasonable time frame. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about why this number matters. In 2019, I wired $14,000 to a supplier in Shenzhen for a product that I was certain was going to be a winner. The trend was hot, the margins were there, and everyone appeared to be making sales. What I hadn't checked carefully enough, though, was that every search page was dominated by very similar looking listings with thousands of reviews. It seemed like one big old party, and I convinced myself there was room, but there wasn't. That $14,000 taught me a very expensive lesson about what thousands of reviews on a dominant listing actually means. It's reflective of a very large and very difficult market to scale in. I was very new and I was following the hype when I should have just followed the math. Now, those 4 criteria are must-haves, and if a product doesn't hit all 4 of them, it's out. But there are 3 bonus signals that can take a really good opportunity and turn it into a great one. Bonus 1, bad ratings on competing listings. If the top sellers in the market have less than a 4.2 star average rating, that's gold. It means that customers are actively unhappy with what's currently on the market, and there's room for someone to come in with a better version of that product and start scooping up sales from happier customers. Bonus number 2, poor listings. If the competitor listings have weak photos or thin bullet points or just a very generic title, that's an opening. A strong, well-photographed listing alone can outperform competitors even when the underlying product is similar. Bonus number 3, FBM competitors instead of FBA. FBM stands for Fulfilled by Merchant, which means that sellers are sending out orders themselves instead of using Amazon's FBA. So in other words, their delivery times are much slower. So you could then come in with a prime offer with 1 or 2 days shipping and have a massive advantage over them before you spend any money on advertising. Now, none of these are deal breakers if they're missing, but for every single one that you spot, your odds go up. All right, last section, 7 products to avoid. These are 7 product types that I won't even open a research tool for. Not because they're impossible to win in, it's just that they're traps for newer sellers. Number 1, anything topical or edible. If it goes in your body or on your skin, just skip it. So that's supplements, lotions, food, pet treats. There's liability, there's lab testing, compliance. It's just not worth it on product number 1. Number 2 is high liability products. So this is anything that could be possibly dangerous and could possibly hurt someone. If there is high liability associated with any of the products you're looking to invest in, it's just not going to be worth it for the first product because insurance companies are going to charge you a premium for it. Number 3, hyper seasonal products. This is pumpkin carving kits, Christmas ornaments, Valentine's gift boxes. They only sell for a few weeks out of the year, and if you time your shipment wrong, you're sitting on dead stock for 11 months. Number 4, overly complicated products. This is anything that requires assembly, multiple pieces, or an instruction manual. More parts means more returns, which means more bad reviews and more headaches. Trust me when I say this, you just want to keep it simple. Number 5, electronics. This is Bluetooth speakers, chargers, or anything with batteries. These have high defect rates, fast product cycles, safety testing, compliance certificates. They look exciting on paper, but they eat new sellers alive. Number 6, gated or restricted categories. So this could be jewelry or certain toy categories, automotive and power sports, medical, grocery, supplements, beauty. They all require Amazon's approval. At the beginning, stick to open categories. So that's home and kitchen, office, patio, lawn and garden, sports, pets, things like this. And number 7, anything that's trademarked or copyrighted. So that could be Disney mugs, Marvel shirts, NFL gear, character merch. One IP complaint can stop your sales in an instant and maybe even take down your entire account. If a product hits any of those 7, it's out before you even start. No exceptions on product number 1. All right, so that's the whole checklist. 4 things every winner needs to hit. Price, so at least $20 for every product that you're looking at. BSR under 50K. 100 plus units per month / $5,000 to $15,000 in monthly revenue, and under 1,000 reviews on average. And don't forget about the 3 bonus signals that can take a good product to great. So that's bad ratings, poor listings, and FBM competitors. Now, if you run every product across these filters, you're going to cut down your shortlist dramatically. And what survives is the kind of product that can actually become your first profitable launch. If this gave you a better idea on what to look for your first product, the place to keep keep going is the free Grow with FBA school community, and I'm gonna link that down below. That's where I work through these specific product ideas with members and answer the "is this worth pursuing" question in real time. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. If you want to see what the workflow actually looks like, that one's next. I will see you there.